year's conference theme is Social Sciences Beyond Academia. And what better institution to host this conference but Cranfield. Cranfield is an institution that truly does interdisciplinary research, truly values the impact of social sciences into other disciplines and the outside world. So we got about 100 students joining us for the conference. Roughly 70 of them are from DTP1 and 30 of them are from DTP2. What we're here to do is not only train them as doctoral researchers, but support them and enable them to think about their future careers.
I am a first-year PhD student at City St George's, University of London, and my PhD is in mental health. And I'm just about to start my placement at an NHS trust in Leeds, and very excited to collect some data. And there are a few folks at this conference who are also kind of like in the same field as me, and it's always great to network with folks in my field, but also find out like how else can I approach like the same questions of like social sciences within healthcare.
So through a series of sessions where we invite, for example, former students, postdoctoral fellows, we try to give them role models, examples of different career paths that they can follow. You know, there is the obvious path, which is becoming an academic, becoming a teacher, a lecturer, but the modern PhD, the PhD that the South and East Network for Social Sciences offer, is a PhD that trains you for a variety of different roles.
My research is about artists working with schools. It fits more broadly into creative education. And the idea that what artists offer to children and young people by working with them is something that is complementary to what teachers do in the classroom. And I really appreciated that there's been a lot of discussion about kind of creative academic outputs. It's made my brain juices go a little bit, and I've started to think about things that I could do that maybe I wouldn't have done had I not been a part of those conversations.
In 2024, she was elected as the Labour MP for Colchester, becoming the first female MP to represent the constituency. Handing over to Pam, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for discourse.
The keynote speech of the conference was delivered by Colchester Labour MP, Professor Pam Cox.
And you know, it's all very well me saying, "Oh, I'm going to become the parliamentary candidate," but to do that and then win the thing in a seat that hadn't been Labour for 80 years, well, that took data, a data-driven election campaign.
Pam has been one of the former directors for SeNSS, actually, so the students got to know the person that was behind setting up the DTP in the first place, and she gave us a fantastic speech who was interrupted by a vote but sparked a lot of discussions with our students.
I was wondering about how do you sort of square being data-driven, approaching things from an academic perspective versus like a community-informed perspective.
What we hope to achieve is to create a community of learning. People that trust each other, they have that safe space, they can discuss their ideas, and they can then also potentially formulate future collaborations.
For us, our PhD topics are like the most important thing, but there's so many other things that politicians consider as evidence, like their constituents' personal experiences, and charities get in touch with MPs a lot about specific issues as well. So I think we need to bear in mind like how we present the value of our science.
What we need to demonstrate as researchers is the value of our work for coming up with solutions. Research and the overall kind of process of conducting research is what we would call rigorous, is what we would call systematic, is what we would call methodological. What we try to do is we try to come up with the evidence. And when it comes also to influencing policy, we try to present the evidence in a very objective way to the decision makers. Occasionally decision makers might not listen to the evidence because they might have different agendas, but at least we are there to push that message as hard as possible and get them to think about the different options and get them to think about also the consequences of their actions to people and the world.